Shadows fall, dimming the light. Whispers grow, a rising tide. Vindicator, where do you hide? Steel is over, heart ablaze. Through smoky haze, he sets his gaze. Justice calls a burning need. A city's wounds he vows to heed. From cobbled streets to tower high, Vindicator takes to the sky. Strikes back with iron hands. Defender of this promised land. Breaks the chains, sets spirits free. Vindicator for all to see. Seek high! Seek high! Seek high! Seek high! Whispers turn to thunderous roar.
Right, time to launch you into orbit. Wait!
Slams the door.
There we go.
Grasping hand, he fights for freedom, takes a stand with courage born of darkest night. He ignites hope, a guiding light. Strikes back with iron hands. Defender of this promised land. Breaks the chains, sets spirits free. Vindicator for all to see. Though battles rage and darkness reigns, hope's ember burns within his veins. He'll never yield, he'll never fall. He answers freedom's clarion call. Strikes back with iron hands. Defender of this promised land. Breaks the chains, sets spirits free. Vindicator for all to see. A symbol etched against the moon. Vindicator rising soon.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me now? Is that better? Do we have audio back? How's that? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear the audio. That's the first time that's happened. That was strange. Nice one. Yeah, it was an issue. StreamYard decided to, for some reason, they've removed my microphone from the studio, which is weird. Never seen that happen before. But yeah, there we go. Right, back into it. Nice one. Thanks. Hey, chat, how you all doing? I'm glad to see you all here. Some new people, some new faces. That's good to see. So for people that haven't been to one of my live streams before, what will happen is I'll go through some stories. I'll talk to people in the chat. You can give some feedback. Then at the end of the live stream, what I normally do is I throw out the link and invite people into the live stream that want to come in to have a chat and discuss and, you know, just general chat. That's why it's called Vindicator Strikes Back, Straight Talking, General Chat. That's the order of business. So yeah, glad to see some new faces. I want to take this opportunity to thank all the new subscribers that have come to the channel and are now supporting the channel. That's amazing. With liking, sharing, subscribing, it's brilliant. It's good to see all your new guys coming along and getting involved in the comments. That yesterday's video absolutely blew up. I couldn't believe how big. I was having trouble. I mean, normally I keep up with the comments costs on a video. I normally only get about 80 comments. That's about it. But yesterday's was like insane. I just couldn't keep up with all the comments. So I apologize to everybody that I didn't respond to. Normally I try to respond to everybody. And this is what happens, right? So to let you know that I've read your comment, I will put the love heart thing on it to let you know I've read your comment and give you a thumbs up. That doesn't necessarily mean I agree with your comment. It just means that I've read it. So that's like rules of the channel sort of thing. So don't take it as an endorsement. If I respond to you with a voice message and I say I approve your comment, then that's me endorsing it. Yeah. Just want to get that out there straight away. Yeah, soon to be 7K. Yeah, thanks, Steve. But I'm in no mind. I'm only a small channel yet. So yeah. You're the only one of the few who really tries to respond to the comments. I do, because I value your people's opinions. I really do. And I wish more content creators did it, because that's what keeps them honest. If you listen to your audience, they tend to keep you on the straight and narrow. They point you in the direction. If they think you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing, and they think you're wrong on something, then it's important. This isn't an echo chamber. You know, your guys' opinions are as valuable as anybody else's. And that's what I'm saying. This channel is your voice out in the real world. For the people that don't want to get on camera and put their faces out there, this is why I'm here. I'm here to give you people a voice. And we're going to take back this country. We're taking it back. You know, when we do marches and we do protests this summer, I don't want to hear any more of this. We want our country back. We need to change that now to we are getting our country back. We're not asking, we're telling. And that's the message we need to send to everybody now. We're not asking for our country back. We're taking it back. Whether you want to give it us back or not, it's going to be ours again. And that's our mission. We're pushing forward, onwards and forwards. That's the mission now. That's what we're standing for. That's what we're going for. Yeah. How's your channel small? It looks like I'm in no mind, but right. I would say, to be honest with you, nowadays on YouTube, a channel that's probably got about 10,000 subscribers is still a small channel. When you get to 50,000 subscribers, that's probably a medium-sized channel. When you get to 100,000 subscribers, that's probably, you know, a big channel. That's how I see it anyway. I've got no delusions of grandeur or anything like that. I've got my feet firmly rooted on the ground. You know, this channel will never change. You know, what you see is what you get with me. There's no persona or anything like that. I just say it how it is. It offends people sometimes, and sometimes people unsubscribe because they don't like what I say. And that's fair enough. And I'll always say this. I'm not holding a gun to people's heads to watch my videos. You know, it's purely your choice whether you want to watch me or not. I appreciate the people that watch me. I really do. And I appreciate the interactions and stuff like that. And I hope that if we do have disagreements, we can always do it in a debate. And it doesn't get heated. And, you know, we can always discuss our differences. And at the end of the day, if we have to agree to disagree, then that's what we have to do. We just do it amicably. And, you know, I don't hold any grudges, and I hope you don't hold any grudges. That's it. We are getting our country back. Yes, team. That's the message. We're not asking, we're telling. And that's the attitude we need to have. Right, so to get into this, I want to cover this story first, because my live streams are like an extension of my morning walk videos. In my morning walk videos, I can't really go into too much detail about stories I want to talk about, because I want to keep my morning walk videos short to within the 10 minutes. If they're longer than 10 minutes, you know, something's really pissed me off. Something's really pissed me off and I'm about to go on a rant. So if they're longer than 10 minutes, you know it's going to be a good one. So saying that, let's get into it. Let's get the first story up. And like I said, later, I'll even invite some of you guys in the chat into the live stream if you want to come in and have a talk and discuss how you're feeling about the country at the minute. I always value people coming and giving their opinions, because this is what this is about. I love it. I love when you people come in. Capricorn came in today, first time coming in. She's been in a few times now. So people do come in. Right, so we'll share screen, because this is interesting. Right, so have you heard about this yet? So this is from Ellie Hodges. We'll get into her in a minute, because that's important too. So can you read that? I'll just enlarge it a little bit. Hopefully that's a bit better so you can read it. Can you read that now? Check on the live stream, see if that's going through. Right, yeah, that's okay. Hope you all can read that. Right, so she says this. Northamptonshire councillor Darren Rands has resigned from Restore just 2 days after joining from Reform UK. In a Facebook post, he said he had concerns about what he described as the sinister nature of the organisation, alleging Restore had been bombarding Reform councillors with desperate messages to encourage them to defect. Restore has been approached for a comment. Wait till you read this. This is amazing. Right, so he said this. This is the councillor saying this. I'm announcing my decision to leave Restore immediately and start the process of rejoining my Reform colleagues in Northamptonshire Council. After being bombarded with desperate messages from Restore, I reluctantly joined. Oh my God. Unfortunately, I did not realise what I was joining. Would you trust this guy as a councillor in the first place if this is what he does? Right. And it only took me a day to work out that Restore does not stand for the values I believe in or was elected to serve. This doesn't sound like a smear campaign at all, does it? From messages I received from both Restore supporters and those opposed, it's clear that what this organisation stands for is far more sinister than I first thought. It's a smear job, isn't it? It's a smear job. He went to join Restore to smear them, to stop their momentum. It's as plain as the nose on your face, isn't it? This is what this is about. I would like to apologise to my Reform colleagues and hope that I am readmitted so I can continue serving my residents as elected Reform councillor. Absolute rubbish. Anybody who believes that is real, really, I've got a bridge to sell you. That is obvious. He's an obvious plant, isn't he? 100% he's a plant. I didn't know what I was getting into, so you didn't research. You know, this is probably the most important thing you'll do in your political career, is jumping ship, defecting to another party. And before he defected, he didn't do his due diligence and his research on the party he was defecting to. Really? And they expect us to believe that? What a load of crap. And this is what Rupert Lowe was warning about. These are the tactics he was warning us about. What Reform will do. We know Reform are dirty tactics. We know they play dirty. And this is just them playing dirty. So I've got some more evidence to show you of the exact same thing, but done on a smaller scale. So we'll take a look at this. When I can find it. There we go. Right, so this is another case of it, but just on a smaller scale, doing exactly the same thing. So we are. This is from Basil the Great. Whenever you see someone post something like this, just do a quick search on the word reform, and you'll find they're in fact just lying to everyone. They never were going to join Restore. They just want to smear us. It's also tiresome. So we are UK Patriot, replying to down, see you in court down, Reform will win, UK will win. So this is it. UK Patriot. A change of heart. I thought that Restore Britain may have been the answer, offering a bold patriotic vision built on strong principles. Sadly, they are just a rehash of the BNP, far too extreme and littered with nasty racist types. They're not the answer. Reject their bite. So another spin. This is just that first story, but on a smaller scale. And these are their tactics. And look at the name on it, Yvonne. That just screams bot to me. It does. I know everybody blames it on bots, but that really does look like a bot with the name and the number after it like that. That's what I think of that anyway. But yeah, they're a joke. They do. They really do, don't they? They do really think we're thick and gullible and believe all this crap. Because, you know, they make their lives so transparent, don't they? I brought this up last year when Nigel Farage was campaigning during the general election, and that, you know, during the general election he had the Union flag up at either side of him. Once he got elected, he removed the Union flags. Fake patriots. That's all he is. They're just plastic patriots, all of them. Nice one, Steve. We might not even have 29 election because Keir Starmer may do civil war to stop election, or he will rig like what Biden did. I'll be honest with you, and a lot of people have brought this up. He's going to be saber rattling for the next 3 years now, trying to antagonise Russia into a war with us. For that very reason, it won't be a civil war. He'll try to get Russia to engage in war with us, so he can cancel the 2029 general election and be a wartime prime minister and serve another term in office. And at that point, the country is over, isn't it? With him in charge. But before then, a lot of people, Dr. David Betts, have been saying that there could well be a civil war within the next, I mean, he said next 5 years, but the way things are going, we don't know what's going to happen in the summer yet, do we? So anything's on the table at the minute. Nothing's not a possibility. Advance UK are at it as well. All those lies, calling Restore, FNATs, and just making stuff up. Yeah, I think we all saw it. And the most disgusting thing was there was a live stream. I'm not going to go into any further because every time I mention these people, they shit their knickers and throw the toys out of the pram. But there was a live stream with 2 people on it. The guest on that show was just outright calling Restore Britain ethno-nationalists, and the host of that show just allowed him to do it. And then passively aggressively, he also called Restore Britain ethno-nationalist because he tried to use the guilt by association argument. So when people talk about the merger between Advanced UK and Restore Britain, I think that the thing that's putting Rupert off that merger is the college. It's the people within the college, because he would have seen that. He would be aware of what they said. And would you really want to merge with a party that has a college with people in it that think you're a Nazi? Would you want to merge with that? I'm not saying that you wanted to merge with them in the first place. That could also be the case. I'm not ruling that out as well. But even if you were considering it, that would put you off. You would think, nah, done. And to be honest with you, I can't speak for Rupert, But from the man he is, and from what he's been saying, that he only wants the right sort of people in Restore Britain, I don't think he trusts the infrastructure of Advanced, because like people have been pointing out over the last few days, that college, they were never elected, they were selected. So an element within a party that's been selected to be the checks and balances, to hold the leadership to account, but then itself has not been elected by the members, that could also be an element within the party that could be dictatorial, that they could hold the party to ransom if they don't get their own way. And that could be an element within Advanced that Rupert Lowe just doesn't like, and for good reason. Now, we've yet to see what Restore Britain has in the form of checks and balances. That will be interesting to see over the coming weeks. And like I said, they've only just started themselves up as a political party, so we're not even at that stage yet. So I mean, look at Advanced. Advanced didn't even have the college when it first launched. So you know, they might have checks and balances in place at some point. I have seen that Restore do have direct democracy on policies on their website. You have to become a member to use it, but you can put policies forward for their consideration and they will vote on it. So that is a way for members to influence policy. They can actually control the way that policy is formed within Restore Britain, which is a good thing. The members of Advance can't say that, and the members of Reform can't say that. Or can they? I think there's a live stream. I think I'm wrong about that. I'm wrong about Advanced. I think Advanced does have a live stream where people can put forward policy, so I'm wrong about that. Strip that from the record. I heard about that the other day. I had a gentleman on the live stream the other day that said they do a live stream where people can go in and put forward policy. So there is a way for Advanced members to put policy forward for Advanced UK. I was wrong about that. I just remembered that. Yeah, so strip that from the record. So there is a way that they can do it. Put policy forward for the college to vote on. But then again, do you really trust the college when you haven't voted them in? I'm doing now what I do on my morning walk videos. What you're listening to now is just my thought processes in my own head, and that's basically what my morning walk videos are. You're just listening to on camera the thought processes inside my head as I'm thinking them, as I'm thinking about the information that I've been given, and it comes out as a morning walk video. And it's the same in my live streams as well. That's what's happening. So yeah, I correct myself on things. I can be wrong. I'm not infallible, and that's why I have you guys in the chat. That's why I have people question me all the time. I'm not infallible. I get things wrong, and I admit that. I'm warts and all. And I think that's why people like the morning walk videos, because they're not polished. You know, you just see me for who I am, warts and all, and that's the way I like it. Let's have a look at the chat. I cannot see England go another 3 years out with some sort of... Yeah. I'm so hyped for Restore and Rupert Lowe, United Patriots. I don't think they'll merge out. You know what needs to happen, right? Rupert and Ben need to sit down together in a room and thrash out a way of them being, maybe not merging, but being allies. I think they'll be allies. Thrash out a way for them to be allies and maybe go back to the membership of Advance UK and put it to them a way forward. Because to me, it's silly. It's silly having two parties like Advance and Restore fighting against each other when really they should be allies. That's just the way I see it. It is. Party politics is fractured. It is. And I've said this in many videos. You know, my stance before Restore Britain came along was I'd completely lost hope in the political system in this country. You go back and watch my back catalogue of videos. I completely lost. You know, I referred to party politics as taking a bite out of a shit sandwich, because that's what it is. You know, wherever you bite into some shit. There's nothing good about it because of the tribalism that forms around individual parties. The fact that some people, I mean, we've seen it with reform. The fact that people don't vote for policies, they vote for the personality in charge of the party, and that's a wrong way to do politics. That sort of politics is what's led us to the situation where people have loyally voted for either Tory or Conservative, not because of their policies, but simply because it's what their families have traditionally voted for. And that's what's led us to this situation. And hopefully we can break that cycle. That's the cycle that needs to be broken. And for all you new subscribers to my channel, this is something that I always say. We need to treat political parties like you would utility companies. You look at their policies, you see what their service is like, you see what they're going to deliver. If their service is good and they deliver what they promise, you stick with them. If they don't, if they start not delivering what you want, then you switch. You switch to another party, or you demand that they improve their service. Not just blindly follow them and apologize for them when they fuck up. Because we've had enough of that. We really have. And that's what's led us to this position that we're in now. I'm going to bring that up in a minute because I've got an issue with that. So let's clear this up for one. Let's just clear this up, right? You can be from outside of Britain and be a British citizen. Let's establish there's a difference between being a British citizen and being British. Because to me, this is what British is to me. British is just a collective term used to describe the collective nations as a whole, the home nations as a whole. So that will be Northern Ireland, Wales, Scotland, and England. Did I mention Wales? I think I mentioned Wales, yeah. So that's a collective term to mention those countries. It's not a nationality. British isn't a nationality. It's just a word to describe collectively the native peoples of these isles. That's what it is. So you can be a British citizen, you can hold a British passport, but you will never be British. And to point out how stupid it is to suggest people are British, right? So if I go to Pakistan and I get a Pakistani passport, does that mean I'm now ethnically Pakistan? Of course not. It just means I hold a Pakistani passport and I'm a citizen of that country. I have no bloodlines to that country. I have no ties to that country apart from that passport that I've obtained. That's it. And it's the same with being a British citizen. You have no blood ties to the country. The only thing that ties you to the country is that passport. That's it. So being British is being native to the country. So you're ethnically Welsh, ethnically English, ethnically Scottish, or you're ethnically Northern Irish. That's being British. There are two terms. There are two terms. You can't just do away with the word British because then you know better than the far left. Now you're trying to take control of language simply because you don't like a word. Traditionally, British has been used to describe the collective home nations, which is Scotland, England, Wales, and Northern Ireland. It's a made-up label. Yeah, but Britain existed long before that. Britain is the name of the country, isn't it? It's the name of the island that we're on. The nation states on that island have different names, don't they? England, Northern Ireland, Wales, and Scotland. It's called the British Isles. Oh, while we're on the subject, right, yesterday, I had this classic come up. So somebody accused me of Americanizing Britain because I wanted our English constitution ratified and codified. I gave them a history lesson stating that you do realize that it's the other way around, that the Americans took our constitution, the English constitution, over with them They modified it and changed it and added things to it. And that's what became the American Constitution. That's why they have our English common law over there in America. But you can't educate pork. Yes, it does. Pakistan is made of a federation, the same as the UK. Most Pakistanis will describe themselves as Punjab, Kashmir. Yeah. Have you words banned? What does that even mean? I don't ban any words. Right, let's go on to the next story that we're going to cover. So, funnily enough, talking about, I'll just cover this briefly because we just covered it, but I'll put it on for the sake of showing this. So this is what we're having to put up with. These are the people that are trying to erase our nationalities. I am English. I class myself as English. That's what I am. And whenever I sign a form and they ask me what nationality I am, if there isn't a place for it, I write English at the bottom. I leave all the other boxes blank. I don't put British. I just sign myself as English because that's what my nationality is. That's what I do. So it says this here. So this is Stephen Barrett. This is the barrister. I know Steve loves this guy, don't you, Steve? You love him. So this is something he posted. When did he post this? February 17th, so this year. He said, "You are one tweet away from being blocked." I don't know who he's talking to about this. I don't know who he's replying to. I think this was Amelia. "You are one tweet away from being blocked. So tread as carefully as you choose. I am not lazy in my use of language. There is no England. There is no England. Apparently we don't exist. We don't exist. There is no England. We gave it away to form Britain. I think we are better for that." He thinks we're so right. He thinks we're better that an entire nation loses its identity. Now, history proves that a country that loses its identity is in a lot of trouble. If you are in a country and you don't have a cultural identity as a nation, you're in trouble. That's a sign of decline. And it's a warning. So we're going to say this, better for that. But it means British is not an ethnic identity. And that's exactly, he doesn't understand. That's exactly why they're doing it. Because British can then be used as a term to encompass everybody. Anybody that comes in, you're British. Because we've erased all the other nationalities that were collectively called British. So this guy's a lunatic, he's an idiot. He's a barrister. I actually liked him at one point, but after saying this, what a moron. What is it there? So he's saying I'm banning words. Right, okay. Yeah, what you have to do is you have to click on, you have to click on, is it main chat on YouTube? Because YouTube does filter out. It'll only give you the top comment. So if you click on live chat, it'll give you the full chat list and you will appear on there. So I'm going to look through here and see if there's anything else that I want to cover, because I always miss something out. So I'm guessing all you've heard that Robert Jenrick gets his speeches approved by George Osborne. I suppose you've all heard that, haven't you now? I think that's old news. Right, we'll cover this because this is interesting, right? Because people were telling me in the comments yesterday that reform isn't collapsing. We're growing as a party. Right, really. Right, so watch this. I'll share this on screen. So they say, oh, it's been. So this is Reform Grassroots. This is their official Twitter page, and they asked the question: who will be the next Prime Minister of the UK? And Rupert Lowe won it by a whopping 78%. Nigel Farage only came in at 20%. And this is from their grassroots. Now, I'm fully aware that this could have been people from anywhere could have voted on this. But it is kind of telling when they can't even win in their own polls on their own grassroots page with people who are obviously, following this page because they're members of Reform. It's had 45k views. I don't know how many views it's had so far. So this was on the 18th of the 2nd, 2026. So this was 2 days ago. So when people say that Reform isn't collapsing, they may want to take a closer look. It's the longest day made for those reasons, not for example. Bad mouth someone in the chat for clicks. Yep, definitely. It is hilarious. Right, so what I'm going to do now is, what are we on? I'm just going to throw it out to you guys in the chat. Anybody that wants to come in and have a chat, you can do so. The rules of coming in are that you'll be backstage first. You won't be live when you first click on the link. You'll be backstage. So whilst you're backstage, the only thing that I ask of you is to show your face. Show your face to me, and then once you've shown your face, then you can go back to being anonymous, and then we'll go live. I'll bring you into the actual live stream. This is so we don't get trolls or people trying to do things to the live stream they really shouldn't do. It's a safety measure. So it's not that I don't trust who you are. It's just to make sure that you are who you say you are when you're coming on. Right, so I'm dropping the link now. Anybody wants to come in and have a chat, you can do so. Links in the chat. Just click on that. You'll come backstage. You'll show your face. Have your audio ready. If you've got a microphone, have that ready. And we shall see. So while we're waiting for somebody to come in, see if there's any more stories we've got to cover on it. I always miss something out. Anything of importance for me to cover? Not really. Oh, there is this. Remember when the stats were that we were arresting, what was it? We were arresting 12,000 people a year for social media posts. Remember that? When those stats came out? They were the stats. So the stats now have gone up. So now, on here, new data we have seen reveals UK police are arresting 20,000 people a year for what they post online. That's 55 arrests every single day for offensive speech. And it only gets worse. As dissent grows and new populist political parties emerge ahead of 2029, expect a massive crackdown on to silence the opposition. This isn't protection, it's control. Free speech in Britain is dying, it's already dead. There is no free speech in this country anymore, it's gone. Our politicians and rulers are rapidly destroying our Western civilization. We need the new world, we need America to come and rescue of the old world. And they are. I heard that America have actually set up a portal that anybody can click on, which bypasses the security, so you can see what your country doesn't want you to see on social media sites. That's something that President Donald Trump is currently setting up, apparently. So that's good news. I'm going to go back to the story, actually, because there was something I wanted to cover on here that I forgot to do. So this was the story about the councillor, Ellie Hodges, right? The person who's breaking this is what she said. So she said this, right? She was saying, Restore has been approached for a comment. So let's have a look and see who she actually works for. So she's a political journalist and commentator, appearances on Talk TV and GB News. And this is the journalist, I'm saying that in air quotations, journalist that's breaking this story. We all know that GB News is basically reform TV, isn't it? And we know that Talk TV is biased. I mean, these two supposed news channels are just establishment pretending not to be establishment, really, aren't they? That's what they are. But I thought you should know that. I've got no idea. I haven't checked it out yet. I will have a look. Yep, 20,000 a year now being arrested for social media posts. Right, I'll drop the link again. Nobody wants to come in. I'll give you 5 minutes. Nobody wants to come in. Then I'll read some of the chat, and then we'll knock it on the head, guys. Got people to say in the chat. Yeah, he already has. I think Susan mentioned this. So, Hope Must back to Rupert. He already is. He's funding Restore. Yeah, but has Must injected any money into Restore? Yeah, I think he has. I don't think she'll be appearing on the new court forum again. But try to use it for clicks. Right, okay. Right, guys, it's 42 minutes. So look, last comment. GB News is the propaganda channel for Reform 100%. Yeah, it's Reform TV. That's why Rupert Lowe's not allowed on there. That's why they don't have any other political parties on there. Right. Thanks for coming along, guys. I really appreciate it. Hopefully next time somebody will come in and have a chat with me in a live stream. But there we go. The reason I'm going to end it is because I can only talk so long, because I really hate the sound of my own voice, and talking for more than an hour is really hard. So have a look. We're more likely to get someone who wants to argue with than agree. And yeah, I don't mind that. If people want to come on and argue, that's fair enough. I've had people that have actually done that, and we've ended the stream and we've agreed to disagree. That has happened before. They've got to be too. Yeah, see you later. Encourage the people who disagree. I do. This floor is open. There were loads of people. There were the people that I was disagreeing with in the comments yesterday on the video. I said, just if you want to debate me, come in the live stream, debate me. I'm open to it. It's not going to be, hostile. You'll have your say. I'll give you your say. Thank you. You too. Hope you have a good weekend too. Right, guys, that's it. I'm going to call it. So I shall see you all soon. I shall see you in the morning walk video tomorrow. This is Vindicator signing off.